Committing to diversity, equity, and inclusion is often described as a personal journey. It's a metaphor, and one that's particularly useful in how to frame how to participate, to do our part. Like any metaphor, it's not perfect, and still has so many lessons for us to learn. So, let's put one foot in front of the other and find out. Where this theme takes us. In the last video, we discussed self-mastery. We emphasized with visuals, with an activity, to drive home that we get more done by improving ourselves rather than taking others down a peg or three. We accepted that we can make a difference, which is not necessarily the easiest thing to accept. We know we'll continue to learn and grow, this video series being one way, with so many other opportunities out there. We each approach matters of social justice, of doing the right thing, in our own unique way. There are best principles and practices, and which practices we use and how we apply them will vary greatly for each of us. For some of us, we may have straightforward and direct ways of helping. Others may have to be slower and more roundabout. We face varying levels of difficulty and ease, and it changes over time. We can be out in the public for efforts that many can see, or do our work outside of view. It's all good. Today, we'll explore 4 elements of the personal journey metaphor to help conceptualize our own path, both behind and ahead. Part of the metaphor is internal. For one, we chart our personal identities. We've already been doing this. We'll continue to do this. Who we truly are is not a simple question. The answer changes in the context of who we are as a family member, a professional, within different aspects of our organization, community, and society at large. As we've discussed, we aim to be our best selves, and part of that is matching our learning, our improvement, to whatever goals we have. I could say learn to play the piano. Maybe I will someday. It doesn't really match my personal or professional goals right now. Instead, I really want to learn a lot about equity and public service, and so that's where I spend a lot of my time and effort. What about you? For example, there's reconciling a past project. Now that we've learned more about equity, maybe when we look back, we can see where we weren't serving everyone like we wished. How does this affect our identity? What do we need to do to learn in order to move forward? Our metaphor also works externally. How do we find success? Whatever it is, there are usually steps we have to take to get there, steps to take whether we're looking for council approval, or getting funding, or just completing the tasks at hand. We can figure it out step by step. Among those steps are bridges, people, resources, ideas that can help us get over obstacles, and roadblocks that will slow us down or even stop us flat. There's also unknowns, places along the journey that are obscured, and we don't know what we'll find until we get there. Take, for example, whatever our first equity-centered initiative we want to do. What is success for us? What is the point we're trying to reach? What bridges, roadblocks, and unknowns do we have? Another aspect of the personal journey is continuation. Yes, we may finish an initiative, a project, may reach a milestone. It's important to stop and celebrate these victories. And then, the journey continues. When it comes to providing our community, our residents, the people we serve, representation, respect, dignity, rights, justice, and more, these aren't solved like a jigsaw puzzle that we ever fully complete. A better way to look at it is like a life, a plant, a person, or even this family of ducks, something that requires continual nourishment to keep active and healthy. Our goal is not to reach the end. Our goal is to incorporate equity in our day-to-day so that we serve everyone more naturally. That way we continuously engage, serve, pivot, and do better. It doesn't stop. It just grows more natural to us. And the fourth and final aspect of the metaphor is this work can be a difficult, even spiritual ordeal. My aim has been to take a lighter approach to the series with short, clarifying videos, hit a topic and move on. And still, many of these topics hit on some very personal, some very philosophical themes. The personal journey metaphor evokes a sense of inner peace, of connecting with nature, of finding a beautiful scene the likes of which we've never seen. And I like to think equity work is much the same. The personal journey holds several meanings, and different meanings will connect to each of us, some more than others. As said, this is to help frame the work, to help keep our thoughts organized and grounded. After all, in this series alone we have 40 other key themes. It can be a lot. Consider the personal journey as one way to visualize it all. And said journey is internal, external, ongoing, and meaningful. For our optional exercise, write down one goal you have for equity. Not necessarily the end culmination of everything, just one milestone you want to achieve. Write it fairly small. Then start laying out the other steps to get there, making sure the steps are written larger or written with more emphasis. Once we're done, take a look and see how emphasizing the steps over the end, the journey over the destination, changes our outlook. Next up, a very, very, very important topic, self-care.